I want to talk to you because if we were talking about a story, and they're like, yeah, I was at my other gig, man. I'm like, other gig? Yeah, at the brothel. And I was like, oh, wait, save it for the show.
Well, what's the source of entertainment for our show?
What the fuck are we talking about here? You work at a brothel?
Yes.
At the Bunny Ranch?
At the Love Ranch, which is owned by the guy who owns the Bunny Ranch.
And where's that located?
About an hour outside of Vegas.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
Because the Bunny Ranch is far, right?
By Reno.
Like Reno?
Yeah.
And what do you do?
What do I do? Well, my official title would be media director. So, whenever you see like a crazy press release about, we're going to offer Britney Spears $1 million contract and to come work there, or we're going to create some sort of like student loan payback program for college students who come work there for a summer. A lot of that's just some goofy idea I cooked up.
You matched them dollar for dollar, right?
So you don't have to, So you don't have. So you're not on location.
I am.
Oh, you're there. You go there.
I have an office there, and
that's a point of contingency with him, though, because he could do his job from home.
I was gonna say, why do you have to be there?
Well, that's because,
Yeah, well, there's other elements to it, and part of it is basically being like a mediator between a couple of crazy hookers. On a pretty regular basis.
So the Love Ranch is a place where men go to, and it's a brothel. It's sanctioned in Nevada.
Yep,
the state
regulated
of Nevada,
by the state.
Regulated, where you can go and there's just hookers, and you pay them.
Pay for
and you
sex.
stay the night or whatever.
If you want. You got enough money, you betcha.
Whatever deals you want.
You ring the buzzer, you come in. Hey, Brendan, good to see you again. Have a seat here.
Hey, don't say it again. Thank you. 3 times in 1 week, sir. I like your style.
And the girls come
we
up.
have your room for you.
Yeah. We have your coconut water and coffee ready to go dark, just how you like it.
They're those people, for sure.
Yeah, I would be that guy.
There are
for
those
sure.
people. But the girls will come out, and they'll line up, and hi, my name is, and you can either pick 1 or 5 of them out of the lineup.
And how much are they for just one?
It
depends on the girl.
Yeah,
they all have their own.
They set their own prices. So what's going to happen is the girl, say you pick the girl. Girl's going to take you on tour, show you around. You'll end up in her room. You'll sit down. She'll go, what do you have in mind doing? And you give her
like
some
a menu,
ideas.
or I just tell them.
There is if you want something.
Because do I look at them like, what's an RJ?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, an RJ.
Yeah.
You negotiate with her, but I think basically the best way to answer your question, because I asked the same thing.
Yeah.
Like blowjob and just sex is like $1,000.
No, it doesn't have to be that much.
I'll give you less?
I can get you a deal. yeah, but
Oh, wow. Could be less?
Or it could be more. Listen,
Really?
it's like,
It depends on the girl.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's just play devil's advocate. So
Sure.
what's the lowest? Is some girl like, I don't know, bro, $10?
No. There's I direct you to a certain street corner. Basically, I would say probably
$100?
3, 4, somewhere in that
And
neighborhood.
then high is 5,000-6,000.
Oh, high is
Well, because you get like porn stars and people that fucking.
high 6 figures.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, when
Yeah, you can go on their webpage.
Sure.
And fucking make appointments with chicks and shit.
Do you say Love Bunny?
Yeah.
What's it? Is it Love Bunny?
You got my soul.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
No, but
Because I got a friend who's gonna be there.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it can be anywhere from that to when Lamar Odom was there, we ran his black card for $75,000.
Hold the fuck up. So Lamar Odom, that's where he OD'd in this whole thing.
He saved them.
Fuck off.
He's the guy that swear to God.
Hold on, Lamar. So did you know Lamar Odom was checking in?
Yeah.
So he was like, "Hey, I'm coming through," and you guys are like, "Damn, Lamar Odom." And now the girls like, "God damn it, that 7-foot black dick." Or are they like, "All right, let's get it"?
No, they're happy.
They're happy because they know he's gonna drop bang.
Yeah.
A guy like that, he's in a suite, and then does he pick out numerous girls?
Mm-hmm. So the way it works.
This is fascinating.
So the way it works is there are a number of people of Lamar Odom's celebrity ilk that will come in and out of there that you never
And you
even know
can't
are
say
there.
their
They got like a
names.
bungalow in the back type thing, right?
Yeah, right. There's
VIP.
actually, there's a whole like 3-bedroom house behind the brothel and that's where Odom was, that if you wanted to, you could say, hey, I'm coming out. I'm gonna, my car is going to pull me around back. We have a car service. We'll send a limo to get you. And that's what we did with him. We went to his house in Vegas, picked him up, drove him out, drove him around the back. I knew he was there and he'd been there for a few days, but even if you had been another customer in the brothel, you would have never known he was
wow.
there. Yeah.
And so when he comes, So he'll pick the girls. So I'm sure he had multiple girls.
Yeah. So what we did in his case, all the girls went back to the house he was staying in, and they did basically like a private lineup back there, and he picked out 2 girls, but he could have picked as many as he wanted to.
And when you say he's there 3 days, so is he waking up? He's having breakfast there, lunch, dinner, or he's coming and going?
Oh yeah, no, he's there the whole time, and in fact,
do you guys have a full service kitchen and everything?
Yeah, there's a cook.
So he's having like eggs and bacon and shit. And he's like, "Hey, get back here."
Yeah. Yeah, there's a full kitchen back there.
Yeah, I'm fat, bro. Undercover fat man. I'm like, hold on, what kind of food are we talking here?
I didn't ask that question.
Yeah.
I feel, yeah.
No, we put there's a cook back there. And in fact, there was a couple times that he ordered food out for the whole house. And we sent a driver to get the food and brought it all back. He was real generous.
And so he's there for how many days?
About 3.
And
third days when things went south.
So he's there for 3 days. Crazy. 72 hours. And then did you guys hear a scream, or was a girl like, so he's not doing well?
So what happened was
Frank Grinning.
It was about, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm in my office, and I knew he'd been there for a few days.
Wiling out, but you guys just cared because the credit card's swiping.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I knew he was there. And at the time that this happened, I was the only other guy in the house besides him. We didn't have any customers in there or whatever, nothing going on. So I'm in their office doing something, media something, and I hear one of the girls that he had been shacked up with screaming my name, coming running up the hallway. Richard, my God, come quick, And I go out of the office, and she's like, something's happened to Lamar, something's wrong. And so I go running back toward the back, and where his house, with the house that he was staying, our VIP house, was a long distance from my office. So I'm running down hallways and all this kind of stuff. And there's a secret entrance into the house where you can come in like through an employee entrance, but people don't know it's there, this door. And so I pop in the door, and the door opens into the master bedroom. And so I get in that door, and he's on the bed on his back. And
I forgot to ask you that. I was just say,
yeah.
Was he dressed?
No, he had a t-shirt.
Just a t-shirt?
On. He had boxers on.
Okay, I was like, was he 4? Just the shirt? No,
shirt and socks.
Legos on the side.
Right.
So just shirt, undies.
Yeah. So
terrible white socks.
So I jump up on the bed, and I'm immediately looking at him and feeling him like he's cold and kind of purplish. It was immediately evident something was very wrong with him.
Dude. We have foam coming out of the mouth. So I'm thinking Pulp Fiction here.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, do something.
He also was snoring like insanely loud, like something's wrong snoring, like coma type, just roaring.
Now,
snore.
do you have any background with dealing with people with ODing or drugs or anything?
No.
Like
So
that?
here's the interesting thing. Despite my unemployable appearance, I am 100% straight edge. I've never touched a drug. I've never drank a drop of alcohol in my life.
Good for you.
But I've been around plenty of ne'er-do-wells like him.
So okay. So you find Lamar. You think you're obviously like, he's not breathing. He's purple.
Yeah. So I jump up. So get up on the bed. I see what's going on with him. And I knew CPR, and that was one weird thing. It's like I'd never been in a position to have to do CPR. So it's one of those things where in my head I'm thinking, okay, this is what you trained for.
Yeah.
Here we go. And so, but when I got up on the bed, he's breathing, but I knew he shouldn't be on his back. And so I got him. It was weird. It was we were talking jiu-jitsu. Yeah, it was kind of like an S mount, because I'm kind of like get him up on his side, and he's 300 pounds. This guy's a giant, and so it's dead weight. So I get him up on his side, and when I got him up on his side, shit just came out everywhere, like blood, vomit, foam, just everything, and it's like on me. And I was just like, holy shit. And
But
so,
you didn't have to go mouth to mouth.
Thank God, right?
No. And so that's where, so we call 911, and then, there's other people in the room have come running out at this point. And so I yelled, hey, call 911. So I'm sitting on him to keep him propped up on his side because he wants to flop back over on his back. And they get 911 on the phone. So they hand me the phone. So I got kind of the phone like this. I'm like, okay, here's what's happened. Here's what I'm dealing with. And I asked the 2 girls that were back there with him. I said, okay, tell me everything that he's taken. Do not lie to me. I want to know everything. Because we would never knowingly tolerate drugs in there. We have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to drugs. But if you come in, we don't body search you.
No,
we're
I'm
not
trying
strip
to party.
searching you. Right.
I'm trying to party.
Right.
I don't need you soda on me when I'm trying to get weird.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Paid goddamn hard cold cash for this.
Right.
If I want to do some Molly and get weird, don't judge me, man.
Right.
But he's probably doing some weird stuff.
Yeah, so if you have something on you, we don't necessarily know that, especially
Goddamn right.
in that kind of setting where he's back there in the house
And
by
it wasn't
himself.
the drugs you're thinking about. Like that's what at first I think everybody was thinking too, because they came back and obviously drug tested him. There wasn't cocaine and stuff in his system, right?
I think there might have been something.
What are we?
some kind of
what
coke.
kind
It
of
was
drugs? we talking-
wasn't it? I thought that what the problem wasn't it the over counter?
Well, we'll get to that. So that's where I'm headed. So as I'm sitting on him, I tell her, okay, tell me what all he's taking. And you hear this on the 911 call. I mean, that's out there publicly now. You can everything I'm telling you, you can hear me say on the 911 call. So I said, what's he taking? And she goes, well, he drank like 3/4 of that bottle of Cavassier or whatever sitting on the nightstand.
Fancy as
and
fuck.
and I'm like, okay, but it's been 3 days and he's a giant, so
That's
maybe not that big of a deal.
What else,
Yeah,
lady?
yeah, exactly. And she goes,
He ate
well,
an apple? God damn it. What else?
Yeah, exactly. And
Well,
she
he had
goes,
3 grapevines. All right, you know what? Get the fuck out of here.
and so she goes, welcome to my job.
Yeah,
she goes,
I can imagine.
she goes, he said that before he got here, he had done a small amount of cocaine. I was like, okay, so, relay that to the 911 operator. Then she said, and he took some of these, and she holds up this packet, and it's a big room, so it's like I can't really see what she's holding up, and I go, throw me that. And so she throws me this thing, and I look at it, and it's this herbal Viagra supplement called Reload. It's packaged in a red pill. So I read the milligram dosage to the 911 operator on the phone, turn it over, and all that, and it said like, no more than 1 every 24 hours or something like that. And I said, how many of these has he taken? And she's like, I think like 10 or 12. So he was just eating
Popping
them
like Skittles,
candy.
and his foot-long dick was just rock hard for 72 hours.
Right.
That's what it did, huh?
Yeah, I
Those
thought
herbal
I thought he
Viagras
was
did
just
it.
happy to see me, but I
No.
was like, yeah,
I couldn't put him
I
on
know
his
when you
stomach.
saw him, it was like, you're like, all right, get your
Right.
dick out. It was like this mic. You're like, all right, well, I'm just gonna. Good Lord, man.
So
This color too, by the way.
that turned out to be a real source of the problem because this stuff had been like banned by the FDA.
Is it
the company was out
that
of
mixed
business.
with the other drugs?
Yeah,
What did it?
Yeah. And so he had basically had a series of strokes when all this had happened. So the ambulance gets there pretty quick, especially for being out in the desert. They got there pretty quick. So they come in. There's 3 EMTs and me, and so they go, "How are we going to get him out of here?" Because they couldn't get him to fit on the gurney.
He's 7 foot, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we each pulled up a bed sheet corner and held it like this and carried him out like hammock style.
He's breathing at this time?
Yeah, he's snoring real loud. Now, they're not like in a super big hurry. And I was actually thinking, okay, maybe this is good because they're not rushing him out.
Or they just don't give a fuck.
As soon as they got him in the ambulance, the EMT was like, all right, come with us to the hospital. And we get to the hospital. Now, they take him to Pahrump, which is this little small town that's basically between Vegas and where the brothel is, 20 minutes away, closest place with a hospital. So we take him there, and we're in the emergency room. The cops show up and everything. And that's when it got weird because, no, that wasn't already weird, but they go,
That's when it got weird.
The
Yeah.
7 foot dick pulling your
Yeah,
face
yeah.
is where it got weird.
They go, yeah, he's probably gonna die. Like he's probably not making it. And that I realized is why they weren't in that big of a hurry. And so now a little time passes, an hour or whatever. I'm sitting in the emergency room, waiting room, and I'm thinking to myself, like, as much as this guy had going on for him in his life, this is what it's come down to.
The dick pills, these
He's in the
herbal dick
hospital. The guy
pills.
doesn't even know.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, you're basically the guy he's going to die
Right.
with, and you guys.
Right. Out in the middle of nowhere, right? And so then, so now they've got him somewhat stabilized. They decide they're going to fly him to Vegas, care flight him for better care. They get him outside. They start trying to load him in the helicopter. He won't fit on the helicopter.
No one thought about this?
I guess not. And so I'm watching them like try to, I can't
Fold
get him
his
on here.
legs and shit?
Yeah. And so they end up driving him to Vegas.
Which is
And-
how far?
An hour.
Yeah, an hour. Yeah.
Dude, we're talking about precious time
Yeah.
here.
And I mean, I was convinced at the time that, he probably wouldn't make it. So I go back.
Changed up your celebrity death pool.
Frank and I play in
You had
this.
inside information.
Yeah.
You know Doug Stanhope, the comedian? Frank and I play in Doug's celebrity death pool. And
It's hilarious.
people have asked about that, but I actually think it's more impressive that because I didn't have him on my team, I was actively working to resuscitate him
I
and
agree.
screw somebody else who already had him. So we get back. I get back to the brothel. Sheriff's there, and the sheriff goes, "Okay, prepare for." They said, all this media is driving from L.A. right now, like all these satellite trucks,
like
are
the
driving from
gold
LA.
rush to San Francisco.
Exactly.
They are
Yeah.
fucking flying.
Yeah, and they said they're going to be here at like 4 a.m. Just get ready, And so I stayed there overnight at the brothel. Sure enough, 3 or 4 a.m. Here come like headlights. You can just see them coming down the road, and they lined the road outside the brothel with the satellite towers and everything, the antennas for like 3 days, and it was just nonstop media.
And publicity can't really pay for it. Did it help the business, or did it kill it?
Well, no, it didn't. It didn't kill it. As far as helping it, I mean, I don't know if it brought more people. Maybe not because of notoriety, but it probably got more people talking about legal prostitution. Because, I mean, there's a lot of people who don't realize
But
it's
I would
illegal.
go and be like, all right, who were the two girls with Lamar? Not
Right.
them. I'm going to go with
Well,
someone
I will
else.
tell you this. It was not good for 3 days worth of business because nobody
Shut
wanted
down.
to show up with all the,
They didn't want their
all the
face.
media. Right. Yeah, yeah. In fact, there was one guy there who just well, they call him a regular customer, but not a celebrity. There was a guy there. He drove a Hummer. And he'd parked the Hummer out in front of the brothel, and he got too drunk to drive the night before, so we took his keys, and he's crashed out. When the media gets there, they just assume that's Lamar Odom's Hummer, right? But he got so drunk that he couldn't find his keys the next day, so a tow truck had to come tow his Hummer away.
Shit.
So they're hooking it up, towing it up. All the networks are filming this Hummer getting towed away, and the guy walks out of the brothel like one cowboy boot on, one in his hand, just all still disheveled, going, I don't know why everybody's so interested in the man's Hummer getting towed away. What is going on here?
And especially if that's on TV, his girl's like, that's Frank's Hummer. The fuck?
Yeah, and so
God.
but I tell you, we had all these tabloids show up and everything, and the what blew my mind was I got a call from a tabloid while I was still at the hospital. And the guy said, I mean, word was starting to get out what had happened and everything. And the guy said to me, you're at the hospital with him, right? And I go, yeah. And he goes, you're in the room with him? I said, yeah, I'm just right off the room. He goes, can you get a picture of him, like with all the tubes hooked up with him and everything?
Christ, man.
Get that to me. And I'm just not playing
Scumbags,
that game.
man.
Yeah.
Sharks.
But it was 72 hours of that, and it was amazing how,
How much money do you think that is?
Well, I'll tell you some numbers.
Probably
I mean,
$100,000, right, for that picture?
How much did they
I don't know if it
pay?
was that much, but we had
least 50.
Yeah, I mean, I said I'm not doing it, but we had like we had the Today Show, Good Morning America out there, but we also
Buddies with
had
the guy, fuck him.
Yeah, I'd probably be like, I don't know.
but we
He's
also
gonna die anyways.
I don't like the Lakers anyways.
yeah, we also had those tabloid shows out there, and over the course of that 72 hours, I mean, I had producers because a lot of these producers are freelance, and they get paid bounties for stuff like
man.
this. So I had guys coming up, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Let me get you over here for a minute. So you guys have like security surveillance footage. They wanted the footage. They wanted like a copy of the credit card receipt,
sure.
and they were offering. I mean, you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars.
Serious
people
money.
offering for that stuff.
What we could have done for the show, man.
I know, man. You couldn't have wore the shirt and been like, listen, if you want to hear all about it,
Yeah.
fellas, just come here. Yeah,
That's what you get for partnering with somebody with some
ethics.
integrity. But the funny thing is, the way that hit me with the UFC was, I mean, I've been doing it. I didn't really hide it, but I just didn't bring it up in conversation.
I had no idea.
And a couple of days later, I think it was when Robbie Lawler was fighting Carlos Condit. I had a press conference to go to. The media day is all the scrums and everything. And I walked into that room. I think Robbie Lawler was the first guy that like stopped his scrum. And he's like, oh, well, hold on. What is
I
this
bet,
story? We
man.
have a story
Yeah.
to tell.
Yeah,
He's
I
been
bet.
leading a double life or whatever.
How relieved were you when you found out Lamar didn't die?
Very.
Because I think
Yeah.
even the Kardashians, even Khloe was like, holy shit, this motherfucker's still alive.
Yeah, no,
Like,
it-
y'all are like, cool, man.
In all seriousness, it was like I had never like been in a situation like that where I'm like physically handling somebody where I'm thinking if this person isn't dead, they may be dead like in a second.
It's so scary, man. Think for him, like, this great career, more money than God, and a Kardashian, and he's been on the Kardashian show. And literally, if you talk to anyone who knows him, I guess he's the greatest guy ever. He's the best teammate, a good person. Like, everyone just would die for this guy. And he's dying in a brothel surrounded by women who don't care about him.
I think he's always had a problem with that stuff, because then in college he had a problem with
his dad was an addict, his mom was an addict. Like, everyone he knows has died. Like, he comes from a rough background. A phenomenal player, phenomenal. But then a guy who saved his life, he don't know your name, doesn't know you, anything.
No, and
you think the Kardashian, like, thanks for saving Lamar, here's a mill.
Yeah, I don't. And the thing is, I barely know. I don't know sports unless it's combat sports. And so I knew who he was and all that. I'm actually from Dallas, so I remember when he was with the Mavericks or whatever.
Amazing player.
Yeah,
you're talking about a 7-foot guy with handles, quickness. Legend in New York for basketball scene. I mean, phenomenal player, man.
But I mean,
super freak.
I didn't know much about that. I didn't watch the Kardashian show or whatever. But just the idea that this guy, it was like, I mean, I'll never forget it, obviously, and that image is just seared into my mind of like looking at almost death right in the face. And the thing is, it's like we had that experience together, but only one of us was there for it. You know what I mean?
He won't remember.
Yeah, he remembered it.
No
and so it's like at some point I would like to talk to him.
I'm surprised he hasn't reached out to you, or someone hasn't reached out to you on his on just from his team, just being like, thanks, man. Like, holy fuck. If you didn't act so fast, or if you didn't at least give a fuck, how easy would it be for you to walk in there and go, oh, he's sleeping. He'll probably sleep it off. Or, or let's say you were busy or something. You had something come up and you're like, yeah, I'll get to it. He's dead. There's no Lamar.
And worse than that, when it all happened, Chloe was doing some media and she said something to the effect of, oh my God, in a brothel, why couldn't he have just, gone to some escort or something? And I thought, that's exactly right. And that's why I said, you know what? If that was an illegal hooker in a hotel room, she would have left him
dead.
Game over. Yep.
You would have found him dead the next morning.
Believe me, nobody's calling the cops to the scene of illegal prostitution.
Really, it's the best case scenario for him. If he was in let's say he was just in a hotel, like let's say he's at the Ritz-Carlton, they don't find him until the next morning.
Yeah.
The luck was on his side. He was at this brothel and you were working.
Yeah. So
basically he saved his life.
Well, I hope that eventually there's a chance to have a conversation, because hopefully I'm sure I may never have that experience again, and it's just like you want to talk to the person who was on the other side of that, and if not help them. I mean, just tell them, man, let me tell you. Let me give you my perspective.
At least send Richard a box of fucking chocolates, your new makeup, something, Kardashians. Otherwise, this guy's not around.
Yeah, well, I'd just like to talk to him. But it was. I tell you this. I thought I would live my whole life and never have anybody cast to play me in a reenactment. But that I have now seen
happening.
that.
Oh, you have seen it?
It was like on Court TV or one of those shows.
Did the guy look like you at all?
He looked equally sort of deplorable. You know what I mean?
It looked like a messed up Chris Angel type character.
Yeah, but a little lazy on the particulars. Man. I must say selfishly, I would like to talk to the casting director.
You know what? But I wouldn't take it personal. It's the budget.
Sure.
Like, all right, it kind of looks like him.
Yeah. It was. But, so I had that experience.
Dude, amazing story. Brilliant story.
Working in a brothel will get you some good stories. We were taping on the way down and telling some, so it's not a one-off. Phone booth fighting is equal parts MMA talk. And I always tell people, when I'm not breaking down fights between mixed martial artists, I'm refereeing fights between hookers.
They get into it, huh?
And some days that's the more compelling contest, is those two.
I'm assuming the girls are pretty good looking.
Yeah. I mean, it's like in all candor, here's how I would describe it to you. You're going to see a few, and I'm just talking across the business as a whole, right?
Sure,
across the legal business
as
a whole. No, not just there. But, over the average day, you would see a few girls and you'd be like, holy smokes, this is like a supermodel. These girls I can pay to have sex with this person. Yeah. Wow. Then there's going to be a couple where you're like, probably not if you paid me.
The grateful type.
Yeah. But the vast majority in the middle is going to be kind of a sliding scale, where maybe not the hottest girl you'll see all night, but when you find out what the terms are, you're like, okay.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I
Yeah.
get that. It's like going to you walk into the Ford dealer and you want that Mustang. You know, you want it, but you're gonna settle. You know, you're gonna settle for the Focus because the gas mileage. And
That's
stuff.
right.
Like it's still cool. You know.
No, that's absolutely right, and that's how there's a million different prices accordingly. So
Depends on your taste.
it depends on your taste, and it depends on what
standards.
their standards
What you
and
want to pay?
what they're willing to do.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
God. I can talk to you forever. about
Anytime
it.
you have
we'll talk
questions.
off
Yeah,
air,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I have so many
Yeah.
detailed questions, but I don't want our fan base to judge me.
Sure.
So we'll do it off air. Let's go right into fan questions.
I was gonna say maybe what we need is like a Fighter and the Kid remote broadcast. You guys ever think about
That's
taking
not
the
a
show
bad
out
idea.
live? You know,
However, Callan in that brothel would be such trouble.
that'll be my next 911 call.
Yeah, you'd be your next, yeah. Callan in that fucking brothel would be fucking classic.